As the nations spread across the earth after the Tower of Babel, people formed different cultures, languages, and ways of life. Many turned away from God and began to follow their own paths. But in the middle of a world that was drifting further from him, God chose one man. His name was Abram. Abram lived in a place called Ur of the Chaldeans, a city filled with people who worshipped many gods. But Abram was about to hear the voice of the one true God. One day the Lord spoke to him. "Go from your country, your people, and your father's household to the land I will show you." This was a huge command. God was asking Abram to leave everything he had ever known, his home, his family, his security, and go to a place he had never seen. But God didn't stop there. He made Abram a promise. "I will make you into a great nation, and I will bless you. I will make your name great, and you will be a blessing." God also said something even bigger. "I will bless those who bless you, and whoever curses you, I will curse. And all peoples on earth will be blessed through you." This wasn't just a promise for Abram. This was a promise that would affect the entire world. And Abram had a choice. He could stay where it was safe, or he could trust God and step into the unknown. So Abram chose faith. He obeyed the Lord. At 75 years old, Abram packed everything he had and set out on the journey. He took his wife Sarai, his nephew Lot, and all their possessions. They traveled far until they reached the land of Canaan. When Abram arrived, the Lord appeared to him again and said, "To your offspring I will give this land." So Abram built an altar to the Lord there, worshiping God for his promise. Even though Abram didn't yet have children, even though the promise seemed impossible, he believed God. As Abram continued traveling through the land, he remained faithful. Wherever he went, he built altars and called on the name of the Lord. But there was still a problem. Abram and Sarai had no child. And as the years passed, that promise began to feel harder to understand. How could Abram become a great nation if he didn't even have a son? Still, God's promise remained, and God was not finished. Later, God would remind Abram of his promise in a powerful way. He would tell him to look up at the night sky, and what Abram would see would change everything. Hook for part 11. But when God tells Abram to count the stars, he reveals a promise that seems impossible.